Hey everybody, welcome to my news of the day video, and we're going to get right into it without wasting any time. So on this day in 1938, I'm proud of that because this is my fourth take and I didn't put in the year, so I went and looked it up because that's what you do. So this day in 1938, the Montreal Maroons folded, and if you'll wait a second, I'll get you more info on that. Alright, I'm back. Not that you really notice it, but okay, so they were also Stanley Cup champs in 1926 and 1935. Now, the good thing about them folding is not only that from the Montreal Canadiens, their crosstown rival, is gone, so they get maybe more fans in the stands, but Toe Blake, who was not a big star for the Maroons, went over to the Canadiens, and from then it's kind of like the rest is history because he was a really great player for the Montreal Canadiens. They won, I believe, 2 Stanley Cups with him as a player, and then he became their best coach ever. And up until Scotty Bowman won all those cups all over the place with Montreal and everywhere else, Toe Blake was the best coach ever in the league. So maybe that wouldn't have happened if the Maroons didn't fold. Who knows? So that's 1938. The Montreal Maroons folded. What's the next one up? Oh, yeah. So there was a scheduled women's hockey championship, world championship, that was canceled. And I imagine the men's, too, was canceled because of the coronavirus. And they rescheduled the women's in Nova Scotia, in Halifax and Truro. They're going to host it. So it's 2021 Women's Hockey World Championships from April 7th to the 17th. Women's hockey is much better than it used to be. Like when I first started, obviously it was only Canada and the U.S. that had a good team. But now all the countries around the world that play hockey, their women's teams are a lot better than they ever were, and the hockey is really good. It's like really good hockey. It's kind of like, I'm old, remember that. So when I was a kid in the international tournaments, Canada and the U.S. were the best teams, and mostly it was Canada. And then Russia, and then the other countries started to come along, and look at all the players now, how good they are. There's great players from every country, and that never used to be. Okay, enough talking about that. What's next up on the list? So the men's tournament, they didn't name a city for the men's tournament, and that'll be May 21st to June 6th, so that's right after the other one. And Elliot Friedman was reporting this, and this is kind of humorous. The Sabres, when they purged their front office, scouting, and something else, 3 departments that really got purged. They mistakenly fired their head of hockey, the head of the hockey department, IT, so that's tech, and yeah, they mistakenly fired him. They had to rehire him, so kind of funny. I guess in a little way it's understandable. They just fired Jason Botterill, and I guess there was a lot of chaos, and they just gave a pink slip to the wrong guy. But they rehired him, and I guess all is good back in Buffalo. Not really, but as of today, this is Tuesday, the 23rd, and as of today, the NHL will allow Phase 2 groups to expand from 6 to 12. So there were 6 players practicing, and I'm not sure if it's 5 players and a coach, but the group is 6. They have to stay together, so now they're expanding, and I guess that's because there's more players coming back. They said they were going to keep it in groups of 6, and you couldn't switch around. The group you started with is the group you stick with. So I don't know what the reasoning, especially after the 11 positive tests. They say they're going to have much stricter restrictions, especially in Phase 2, and once they get into the Phase 3 and 4 bubbles, I think that'll be pretty safe. I really do. In Phase 2, there's a lot of they don't have a lot of restrictions that keep the players from going anywhere, and since there's a lot of stuff opening up everywhere in North America, players, I'm sure, were out and about, and that's how this probably happened. And Florida, where most of this happened in hockey and baseball and all that, I mean, Florida, the numbers are crazy. Okay, so that Tampa Bay facility could reopen this week. So Tampa Bay, just speaking of that, was one of the places where there was the positive tests, and that was, I think it was 3 players and 2 staff, or 5 players and 3 staff, something like that. And they closed down their facility, and they cleaned up. re-sanitized everything's clean, and they might reopen by the end of the week. I also read somewhere that for Tampa, they have most of their players back in Tampa already, so they have a need for a facility for them to practice at. So yeah. Pierre Lebrun says there are 6 cities are still in the running to be a hub city. I'm reporting it that way because I think everybody probably knows, I might have been the last one to hear that, is they had gone down from 10 to 6. I didn't know that. So there's 6 cities that are still in the running. Vegas, Vancouver seem to be leading the way, with Toronto close behind. I don't know about Edmonton. I would think Edmonton's facilities probably are pretty good as far as keeping them in that bubble, but maybe I'm wrong. And then you've got LA and Chicago. LA kind of just try to keep pushing it to have a chance. Chicago, they say, has got a decent chance, but it's going to be one of these 4. Elliot Friedman's reporting is Vegas and Vancouver will be the hub. I kind of think that Toronto, who was reported as a front runner, so this is my guess here, will be like Vegas's backup, and that if Vegas, because of the numbers that are going on, the stuff going on in the States, the numbers are really going up. Who's to say how bad it will possibly be in a month's time? And I have a feeling that Toronto might be the backup, and then they'd have an East-West hub. Also, even if you want to say Toronto's numbers aren't great, but they're not great for Canada, and Canada's numbers are really good right now. So it kind of makes sense that maybe Canada gets both hubs, and they go that way. So whatever's safest for the players. And remember, the players have a vote on this. So the players are going to vote on this. So if they feel it's not safe to play in the States, then they'll vote and say that. And so we could see both hubs being in Canada. Big stuff that you've all been waiting for. So Larry Brooks is reporting, and then I've got this on Fanside as well. I don't know if they're getting it from Larry Brooks. But I've been thinking that it's going to be mid-August for the Phase 4 to start, but it looks like they want to get Phase 4 started by July 30th. So they're talking about getting that done. They would like the teams to be in their hubs, the hubs which have not been named yet, and that means that you know that they're going to name them anytime now. They kind of said it would be yesterday, but they're always late on their timeline. So I would figure by Friday probably. And possibly, Friday is the draft, the lottery. That would be a good time to make the announcement of where the hubs are. So they want them there by July 23rd, 1 week before the July 30th start date. So July 30th, we could be seeing hockey that quickly. That would leave them not that much time to get 2 weeks of training camp and 1 or 2 exhibition games. I had first time I'm hearing about exhibition games. But I did hear twice about exhibition games possibly being played. Only 1 or 2, and then they go right into the Phase 4. So that's the big news. I don't think I missed anything here that I wanted to talk about. If I did, I guess, I do have confidence, though. This is one thing a lot of people are talking about, is when they go into Phase 3 or 4, considering the tests that are positive in Phase 2, that how confident are you that it's not going to happen in Phase 3 and 4? It could happen in Phase 3 or 4, but you got to remember that the conditions that the players are under in Phase 2 are not the same as what they'll be under in Phase 3 and Phase 4 if they get that far, because the bubble that they're talking about only kicks in really Phase 3, and that's going to be quite tight. So I don't foresee a problem if they can get this under control. I don't see a problem going forward, but it's still all up in the air, and we don't know. So that's it. That's the video. If you liked it, give a thumbs up. I appreciate that. And while you're down there, please leave any comments in the comment section about any of this, even what I'm thinking about Toronto, anything you might want to comment on, or if you have any new information in the comment section, I'd appreciate that. And anybody who has not subscribed already, while you're down there doing that, or head down there just for that, subscribe and ring the notifications bell. That's going to get you your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. And really important, if you can give a thumbs up if you really liked it, or if you just liked it at all, give a thumbs up. It helps for the algorithm. It's really important. I appreciate that. And thanks for watching. Really do appreciate. I'm appreciating a lot of things. Please wear a mask out there. I wear them when I go out, not when I'm alone, and I'm not. But when there's people around, I wear a mask and go shopping. Please do that. Your choice, but I suggest it. And that's it. Peace out. See you next video. Bye, y'all.